Okay, so what we have here is a pretty old Commodore 1541, which I managed to get off eBay for a couple of quid, and I've tested it and it's pretty dead. You can see it's got a bit of yellowing, needs a bit of a clean up. So what we're going to do here is see if we can resurrect it and hopefully give you guys a bit of a guide as to how it's done. I've had a quick look at it. It is very, very dead. There's some water damage, etc. inside. So first of all, we're just going to show you how it doesn't work. Mains cable in the back. Switch it on. And as you can see, you've literally just got no initialization there. You've got power. These two mean you've got 5 volts. You may be able to hear a slight whirring there, which means you've got 12 volts, but we'll check that in a second. But you've got your green LED and your power LED and your drive access LED. But this not going out basically means that the drive hasn't initialized and needs a bit of work. Okay, so here we have two of the essential tools that you need when you're doing any sort of logic repair really, or any sort of PCB repair, especially old Commodore kit. We've got 40 meg oscilloscope here, which is a handmade one. Also quite useful, this one has a component tester in it. Several modes we can use, really useful piece of kit. Basically shows you what's going on, and we'll show you some of that stuff later. Also what you've got here as well is the multimeter, which is this little guy here, which we can switch on for you there. Again, pretty basic, shows you what you need to know, show you AC voltages and DC voltages and the amount of current you've got coming in. This one's quite an old one, but it does the business for me. Okay. So we're going to test for voltages. The capacitor that you can see in the top of your screen, the right hand side of that capacitor, that's the negative side. You can probably see CR4 and CR2 there. To the left of both of those diodes is our 5 volt and our 12 volt and our 5 volt test points respectively. So we're going to test CR4, that's the negative of the meter probe on there, positive on CR4. And there's our 5 volts, the end of CR4. Okay, you'll see from the camera there that you can, on the scope camera there we are. Okay, and then we'll check the other side of CR2 rather. A little bit difficult for me to hold. There you go, 12.1 volts. So there we can see from the unit itself that the 5 volts and the 12 volts are okay. What we've got here is just going to put my scope probe, which is here. Going to put that onto the negative end of a capacitor to give me a good grounding, so the scope's got something to look at. This is the negative end of the capacitor. You can see you've got the negative side there. First of all, we're going to see if the machine's coming out of reset. So I'm going to switch it on. Pin 40 of the 6502, which is this one here. The pins run from pin 1, pin 20, pin 21, pin 40 there. So you can see it comes out of reset there. Switch it on again, stays low, comes out of reset, which is great. We'll have a look at one of the data lines. You can see probing these, there's no activity there at all, which is not good. Absolutely no activity means a data bus or address bus, nothing is actually working, there's nothing here at all. So it's not in good shape. So we're going to have a look and see if there's a clock input to the processor as well. Okay, so the clock input is on pin 47, so 40, 39, 38, 37. There we go, you can see that we've got a clock input there. Okay, so we've got a clock input to the processor, so either something's holding all the lines down or the processor isn't working. So we're going to switch off and pull the chips out, and we're literally just going to leave the processor in there just to see if we get any activity at all. Okay, we're going to start by very carefully levering out, if we can, the 6522, which is one of the IO chips from its socket, very gently. Use the other end to not bend the pins too much. Okay. The 1541 obviously won't operate without these chips in, however, we can quite safely get them out, and just to see if any of this is holding the bus down. Okay, go in there, that side as well. Again, you want to be careful when you're lifting these to ensure that you don't cause as least damage, and lift the pins as gently as possible. If you do bend a pin, it's not the end of the world, however, it's better if you can avoid doing it. Okay, 1541 with the 6502 and all the other chips removed. I've gone through to see if we remove the other chips to see if that brings the data or address bus back into life, and it does nothing at all with that 6502 in it. Okay, so you'll be able to see those are moving along. Look in the picture, you'll be able to see it. There's nothing happening at all. So we'll switch it off. I've managed to find another 6502. I'm going to replace that. Snap that into place there like that. Okay, sticking it nice and easily. Okay, let's have a look. And we have activity, and I don't know if you can see there, but there was actually, looks like there's some activity on the address bus and the data bus there, which is all good. Again, if we power it up like that, you can actually see that it's trying to do something, so it looks like it's trying to execute something, which I would expect it to do. Okay, so we'll shut it down. We'll put the other chips back in. Again, make sure the pins line up and push. This is back in nicely. It sits in nicely. Okay, slot that one in as well. Okay, and power it on. See what happens. Okay, so got a bit of activity there, but we've still got an issue because the disk is still pinning. It hasn't completed the initialization sequence, but we're a step further because now at least we can see when I switch it on there, the data bus and address bus is actually doing something. So we've discovered that the 6502 is defective, and we've put the other chips back in, but it still doesn't power up. I'm just going to pop this ROM chip out because I want something to show you, because I think this has been looked at before. See if you can figure out what's wrong with that picture. And if you see, that's bent up inside. So that's the ROM on the 1541. That's such a bit of kit which tells the processor what to do. It's obviously not good to have that underneath there like that, so it's not going to help. This may not fix it, but we'll have a little look. So this obviously tells me that it's been looked at before and somebody's not been too careful when they put the chips back, so we'll straighten that out if we can. Long nose pliers, essential bit of kit. want to sit back in, so I've just sort of slotted it in there, so let's sit it down like that. Let's try again, we'll have a quick look, see what's going on. Okay, it's not the only thing. Now, I've already placed the ROM, which is this one, and I've already changed this chip here, so I moved both of those are okay because we had the same result. I'm going to now change this 6522 chip. We'll try this 5622. We'll put a new chip in each of these sockets and see if we get a result. Try this one. Put a spare 6522 here. Okay, I'm going to fire it up. We'll try changing one of the other ones whilst leaving that one in situ. Change the other 6522. So that's the processor and one of the 6522s. 6522s are both effectively programmable I/O chips. Again, but we're doing these because they're easy to change. So another 6522 here. Oh, bring it down there so you can see from the date code 2284. Again, it's a fairly old chip. Again, these aren't easy to get hold of, but we have our places. Okay, let's give it a spin. Success! Hallelujah! 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 Okay, and then we'll just try load the first thing off the disc. Disc kicks in. And that. See what happens. Just get access. And there we have it. Comaland. Off a disc which is read and written by this repaired drive. So that's it. We'll just go to the summary and I'll just summarise exactly what we've done here to get this up and running. There's obviously a bit of work to do. Board needs a bit of a clean and so does the outer shell. But other than that, there's a £1, basically a £1.53 buy off of eBay, up and running with a couple of spares. Fantastic.